Hey y'all, welcome to the wacky, crazy Danganronpa V3 Talent Plan board game. This game we play as Sayaka. Side note, I just want this to be on the record that I wanted to interview the Sayaka guy, the cardboard cutout guy, Tobin Jacobs. I really wanted to interview him. I talked about him some episodes ago. But somebody actually did interview that guy, and I don't think they even played at Danganronpa, but they had like 1 million subscribers, so it makes sense that that guy would get the interview and not me. But also, I never reached out, so maybe there's an alternate timeline where I got the interview, or we both did an interview. I don't know, but I felt like I just needed to say that while it was the Sayaka video. Things I have to say no longer pertain to Sayaka anymore. Bro, today sucked. Today sucked so bad. So like we have we have a pool, and pools need the water to be filtered. So we had the filter running and it was just kind of leaking water, so we're like, well, that's no good. We have to get that fixed. So, objective 1 was fix the leaky pump, whatever filter pump. So we assemble it, disassemble it, my bad, which was not an easy feat. We had to cut off the pipe, we had to saw through the pipe because it was glued with fucking Gorilla Super Omega glue. Like the strongest glue known to man. Not really, but you get my point. It was impossible to unscrew. So we're like, fuck. Alright. We saw through it. We could just get some connectors and then glue the connectors on. And, maybe we're perpetuating the problem, but, ain't no problem if it just works. Hopefully there wouldn't be a problem. So, yeah. Then my sister took it to a pool shop so they could fix it. They fixed it, and then we're like, okay, now we're ready to cook. Now we could put it back on. Just gotta glue these things on. Super easy, that's that. Then the problem will be solved, and then we won't have our pool looking disgusting. Dude, it looks like Shrek's swamp. It actually looks so bad. And because it was 4th of July weekend, the pool store close to us was not open. I was not aware that there was another pool store that we could have gone to. The one I went to, so there's a product that's called Shock, which is super, it's like super chlorine. And then there's, normal pool chlorine, and there's algicide to get rid of algae, which is what makes the pool all green. So I'm like, yeah, can I get a thing of normal of Shock, and then a thing of normal chlorine? And they're like, Shock is chlorine. They looked at me like I asked the dumbest question ever. I'm like, dude, this cannot be real. I'm not a pool expert, but surely there's chlorine that isn't Shock. Surely there's just default normal chlorine. But they looked at me like I was crazy, so I guess maybe I am crazy. Maybe I'm sandwich crazy. Don't even know what that reference is from. I think it's from Airplane? I don't know, I never watched it. I just hear Sean and Telly say it sometimes. But, yeah, anyway. So we just had to put the fittings back on, glue it back together. All set, good to go. And when I was trying to tighten the thing back onto the pump, the filter, I tightened it so much that the PVC pipe just it just cracked and it snapped off, and now the problem is worse than it was before. I mean, the problem was already kind of bad because one of the bolts had rusted. We would have just opened it up on our own, but the bolt was rusted. And we're like, you know what, we'll just let them take care of it. And they did. They did fix it. But I broke it worse. So I'm like, I'm like, yeah, this day is terrible. This day is a wash. And then we played League of Legends, and League of Legends went terribly. And, you know, I should just learn my lesson to not play League of Legends. I was playing bot games earlier today, and I was having a solid time. You know, sometimes I'd get killed by Morgana bot, because Morgana is pretty strong. You know, Morgana bot kind of just will dunk on you, because she's an AI, and she knows when to put up the black shield and when to, you know, throw out a Q. I mean, not that well, but, you know, it is a giant, long-lasting stun. So, it's kind of annoying. Anyways, yeah, today sucked. But this weekend wasn't too bad because I got 2 videos done. I finished the Batman video. Still not certain if I want to upload it in its full 6-minute version or just the 1-minute parody of, you know, The Dark Knight. I was talking to Telly about it, and I think I've come to the decision that I'll upload the parody individually as a skit. Like, it'll just be the parody. Or, yeah, the parody skit as a YouTube short. I'll do that, and then I'll have the full 6-minute version video where it is the whole thing with the skit, you know, the whole parody plus me talking. So that way it's best of both worlds. And then I have an Irisu Syndrome video that I'm quite happy with. That game is really, really interesting. It was a total brainworm. I was just laying in bed, you know, flipping blocks around. If you don't know Irisu Syndrome, you're in the majority, because nobody knows that game. It's an old horror puzzle game from 2008. It was released in Japan, got an English translation, I believe, by fans, which is very cool of them. Love, you know, I got a lot of respect for people who just translate games, like, for free. People do that with manga as well. Like, manga translators, game translators, people that do that stuff for free, those guys are, like, nuts. Those guys are giga chads of the community. So, gotta put some respect on them. But Irisu Syndrome, pretty messed up game, but very interesting. I have, like, sort of like a highlights video that doesn't spoil too much. It spoils, like, one ending, like the big main ending that probably everyone talks about, if anyone talks about the game at all. But I honestly, like, considered sending an email to Blasterbrain, because it was because of her interview. When I asked her about Yume Nikki stuff, she name dropped the Irisu Syndrome, so I'm like, huh, you know, if Plasterbrain, who, you know, is kind of like, in my eyes, like the expert of freeware horror games, if she says this game is like the best by a mile, I'm like, okay, well, I mean, I gotta check it out. You know, I was gonna play IB, and I'll probably play Dot Flow at some point, but I'm like, all right, you know, Irisu Syndrome, sure, why not? Pretty short game, all things considered. I think I did beat it in like a couple days, like maybe like 3 or 4 days, but a lot of that was just because I liked the gameplay. It's kind of like Minesweeper, where the gameplay isn't too crazy, but it actually, like, I don't know, I just really like puzzle games, I think, because I'll just lay in bed and I'll envision Minesweeper boards in my mind. I did the same thing with Irisu blocks, just flipping them around and matching them together and whatnot. And then, like, at some point, it just kind of, like, hit me, the whole weight of the entire story. I'm not gonna spoil it, and I don't spoil too much in the video, but I don't know what I want to do with the video, because, you know, Irisu Syndrome, that game does not do numbers, but I don't know. It's a video I like. I like the video, but it's not one of my best works, and I don't know if I want to put mediocre stuff on my channel. All right, you know what? I'll just put it on the main channel. I'll just save the alt channel for, I don't know. I guess the alt channel has always been kind of things that I don't want to clog up the main channel, but I also would want the Arisu syndrome to be findable if you want to find it. Whereas if you know, maybe there was a time that I was talking about, there was a video where I talked about, well, let's just say the Sayaka guy video. The one of the, I think I was playing the Despair Dungeon itself rather than the talent plan. The Despair Dungeon video where I'm talking about how I feel about the Sayaka guy. It's like, okay, you know, what if you wanted to watch that video? You gotta go to my videos, scroll down, you're like, I don't know, is it the one titled fucking this audio is bad, but maybe it won't stay bad. You know, maybe that's the title of the video. And it's like, you know, who the fuck knows? Who knows? Who knows which video it is on this channel? This channel is kind of just a mess. It's kind of just, I word vomit, I dump stuff out so that I feel productive. And, you know, I do it because, you know, this is basically 12 minutes out of my day on Monday where I listen to it back because I'm a narcissist. And, you know, maybe someone else listens to it and they're like, yeah, that was like some nice like background noise. You know, that was pretty chill. So that's mainly why I do this. But like, you know, fucking, I don't know. I don't want to clog up my main channel with videos I don't care about. I guess I care about the Arisu syndrome video. It's not going to do numbers, but also like none of my videos do numbers. So like, who cares? I think I will put it on the main channel. I think, you know, we've talked it out and we've come to a conclusion that it is a main channel video. I think it is amusing enough, and maybe, you know, it'll put the game on someone's radar. You know, if one person watches the video and they're like, wow, that was really interesting, I think I'm going to play the game, and then they liked it, that's a massive W. That's a huge W. You know, I can't really ask for more than that. Or even if they just look at the video and they're like, yeah, that was like moderately entertaining, that's a W too. So I guess I'll put it on the main channel. Thanks for watching.